الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره نعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. Greet you all with the greeting of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and the blessing of Almighty be with you all. I'd like to welcome you all for continuation of our series means and ways to achieve great number of hasanat blessings inshallah, and this about being just and fair, and this is very important subject that we have to be paying attention to it, and especially if the person in a position of leadership or in a charge of a office, that you're supposed to be fair and just with the people. And we call this Adly, just and fair, and it is what Allah commanded us in Quran in Surah Al-Hujurat, the dwelling places, verse number 9, that Allah says, وَأَقْسِطُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُقْسِطِينَ. Be fair and just. Be fair and just. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves those who are just when they divide something or when they judge between the people to be fair. Here is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, إن المقسطين عند الله تعالى على منابر من نور عن يمين الرحمن الذين يعدلون في حكمهم وأهليهم وما ولوا. The Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying what the meaning is: those who are fair and just in their decision, in their proportions that they divide things, they will be in a member pulpits in the day of judgment. This pulpit made out of lights, and they will be on the right side of Almighty Allah. Those who are fair when they judge between the people or among their family or anything under their supervision. Regardless, you have to judge between your kids or between your wives or between your subject if you are a ruler. So those people who be fair and just in their deed with the people, they don't prefer others over others, they be fair in splitting things between people, regardless these people there under their supervision, being a family, being a wives, being a subject in the government, that you try to be fair and just in whatever that you're doing. If you do so, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will let you be on pulpit which made out of light, and you will be on the right side of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had stated, وَأَقْسِطُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُقْسِطِينَ. By being fair and just, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves those people who are just and fair. And like I said, this is not only related to the king or the president or the head of the Islamic State. Doesn't matter. Any office that you are in charge of, or any classroom or whatever it is that you became in charge of it, try to be fair and just to the best of your ability. Among your children, among your wives, among your employee. And here in other hadith, the Prophet ﷺ is saying, سبعة يظلهم الله تبارك وتعالى في ظله يوم لا ظل إلا ظله. 7 types of people whom Allah will shade them under His throne in the day of judgment. And one of them is what? Imamun Adil, a just ruler. Because over the president or the king there is nobody. Okay? So some people, they take advantage and misuse this position. But if they fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in their judgment, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them a shade in the day of a judgment, which no shade in the day other than the shade provided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In another narration, he's saying, ذو سلطان مقسط متصدق موفق. A person who are in authority and he fair and he give in charity, and he's a person who goes by what Allah reveal. One last thing that we want to add for today, in case tomorrow that we start a different subject about Ramadan and fasting, ta'affuf. Okay? Ta'affuf, to stay away from the haram as much as you can. And also, since we're talking about 7 types of people that Allah will shelter them under His throne, which no shade in that day other than the shade of Allah. That means the sun will be so close to the people, and the people be sweating so much, to such a degree that some people, they sweating and reaching all their knees. Some, they sweating reach to their belly button. Some will be almost up to their nose, barely they can breathe. So while people is sweating so much in the day of judgment, here is the Prophet ﷺ telling us there is 7 types of people, not 7 people, no, 7 types of people. One of this category, وَرَجُلٌ دَعَتْهُ امْرَأَةٌ ذَاتَ مَنْصِبٍ وَجَمَالٍ فَقَالَ إِنِّي أَخَافُ اللَّهِ. A man who been seduced by a woman. She's so pretty and she is in authority. So that means he have more than one temptation. Her beauty is one, plus she's in authority, she can protect him. But the man declined, and he say, I'm afraid from Allah. I'm not going to do this haram. So here, a person refuse something that came all the way to him, and also that the woman is so tempted by her beauty and her authority, but he declined only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the hadith, من يضمن لي ما بين لحييه وما بين رجليه أضمن له الجنة. Whosoever grantee me whatever between his two jaw and his two legs, okay, I will grantee him Jannah. And here you notice something, that these two parts may be the smallest compared to the other parts of your body. Your tongue, as you compare your tongue to your arm as example, your tongue is so small. If you measure your private parts comparing to your leg, is a small. But most of the problems comes from tongue and the private parts. So those people who fear Allah and protect their private parts from lust, from haram, from zina, haram relationship, those people going to be what? Going to be granted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Jannah. Whosoever grantee me, that means protect his private parts and his tongue, I will grantee him Jannah. So let's inshallah try to work on this and to understand that we here be tested by different means in this life. There is many temptation, so there is always a struggle, and we have to be trying our best to stay away from the haram as much as we can, because temptation of this dunya is so much and is too little, matter of time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and after this what is over, you see. But Jannah is going to be forever. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen us that we stay away from all the temptation of this dunya. And with this, inshallah, we'll come to conclusion to this segment for tonight. Jazakumullah khairan for being here. And I don't know if I should tell you that see you tomorrow or not, because I don't know what time we're going to meet, what's going to happen with the sighting of the moon. But we played by nose. No, they call it, we played by ear. I forgot that I'm US. So we see how it goes tomorrow, the subject, the time, schedule, inshallah. Any comments? Any correction? Feel free to do so. All right, see you tomorrow inshallah. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk, and Allah knows best.